End times is here. Are you prepared? Check us on New Era TT Radio or NETT Radio with Brother Raka and Brother Yatazakawa on Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. End times is here. Stay tuned.
To the people, them tell me we gon' make it. But you're trusting the Most High, the Most High. Wow. This is my Benjamin Yashirala. We're gonna make it one day, someway. All my praises be to the Most High. We're gonna make it one day, someday. Righteous youth man, keep standing strong. When the going gets tough, then the tough gets going. I pray we will make it.
Yeah, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And of course, we go straight into End Times right here on TT Radio. And we're happy to have our host inside. So we welcome the both of them. So, gentlemen, good day to you. And of course, thank you very much for being here.
Yes. Sir Charles, how are you going tonight?
I am well. I'm well. You know how Trinidad is just change from one season to the next. Yeah. So, but I'm good. How are you guys doing?
But Ahmad, go ahead, man. Introduce yourself.
Pardon?
I said, go ahead and introduce yourself. How you going? You hearing us clearly?
Well, I'm going very good so far. Really, I'm excited to do this stream. I guess we're still waiting on Brother Walker to be as we discuss some of the things concerning the world and world events and things,
Mm-hmm. We getting a little delay with the internet though. We'll see what's going on. You hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, you're getting a little delay with your well, you're online, so I don't know if it is close to your router or what. You hear me? Oh gosh.
Yeah, are you hearing us okay?
Man, are you hearing us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me properly?
Yeah, we hear you, but you're on a little delay. We don't know what.
You hear me?
Yeah, we are hearing. Are you hearing us okay?
Yes, I am.
So we have a delay. So go out and come back in.
Yeah, so that's right. I don't know what that is. So log out and come back in and let's see if we get a better connection for you.
All right, no problem.
Okay, great. So we're very thankful to be here. End times, are you prepared? Right? Brother Yatazakawa could not have been with us tonight. So Brother Ahmad will be filling in. So again, I'm Brother Raka. Tonight we have a very interesting topic. I mean, it's relevant because we now come out of the carnival season, right? So first of all, I'm not the Scrooge of carnival. I understand that it's a festivity. It's a time that people come out to, celebrate, relieve their challenges, relieve their stress, have freedom of expression and in any way they can to dance, to do this and to do that, right? But we understand that in our society today, that there's a lot of things that is lacking, and because of these things that is lacking, we don't have a choice but to try to really try our best to understand what is going on and how we could make a change in our society and acknowledge the necessary things for us to become better. Because as everybody in Trinidad and Tobago and across the world know that in Trinidad have problems with crime, right? Crime is one of the number one things, not to mention, different sorts of diseases and stuff like that. And at the same time, we also have an issue in Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to the adolescents, the young children. So for the sake of our children, I ask the elders, I ask the parents in particularly, I'm reaching out to the parents tonight, to the elders, to the grandparents, to please consider what we are discussing. And our whole intention is about liberating the minds of our people. When I say our people, Brother Ahmad, can you go into the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, please? All right. We want to liberate the minds of the people. Now, mind you, we all are, I'm still learning. I don't know everything. But there's a spiritual awakening happening in the earth, and it's time for God's people to get on board. So carnival, as we see from year to year, it is something that has been celebrated in our land. People leave from very far to come across Trinidad and Tobago. They say it's the greatest show on the earth. But let me go into the scripture. Go ahead, Ahmad. Say it's the greatest show on the earth. But we always see murder.
Chapter 4.
Yeah, go ahead. Verse 6, go ahead.
No, chapter and verse.
Hosea 4 verse 6.
Book of Hosea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have it here.
Okay, good.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. Yeah. Thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou...
That's now. Start from the top again and just slower for the listeners. A little slower for them because we have the elders listening to the program. A little slower for them. Hosea chapter 4, reading from verse 6. Go ahead.
So we're reading from the book of Hosea, chapter 4, starting at verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
The law
I will also forget thy God.
Oh gosh. All right. So in the book of Hosea, it's speaking about our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And because our people has forgotten the law of thy God, he also will reject our children, right? So what knowledge have we lost? First of all, we lost knowledge of thyself. We have lost knowledge of thyself. For those that tune in for the first time, and for those who followed us in the last broadcast, we have understood through biblical, through anthropology, through archaeology, through every form of artifact history that the so-called Negroes, the Hispanics, the Carib, the Arawaks, these people are the descendants of the lost tribe of Israel. The term lost means that they lost their identity, they lost their heritage, they lost their culture. Again, if you are not lost, let me use an example. If you are an African, your last name should be attached to the language. 90% of the people who are Africans are named after Europeans. Matter of fact, every single ethnicity of people I now mention, it's either there's a Paul, there's a Peter, there's a Nicholas, there's a Matthew, and these are Grecians, European names. The Bible speak about we will lose our identity and we will have a by name. You understand? We were purchased and we receive a name from those that purchased us in the book of Deuteronomy 28. So now we go into itself, when we look at carnival in particularly, and we do history before we came across it, which most people understand, that what we was doing in West Africa was no participation of carnival. And I know a lot of people understand that, because the theory is that we came across here and we mocked the slave masters and all these things. These things was handed on to us. Let me show you something. If carnival was something to really make a betterment for our people, they'd have never let us keep it and have the so-called greatest show on the earth. Now, mind you, I don't want to, strike the media, because these things pay the bills, and that is how the system is set up. But what we understand is that these things is not of our culture. And the reason why I'm emphasizing not about our culture, because these things cause sin within us and our God. You see, when we participate in these festivals, because first of all, the word Bacchus or Bacchanal. For those that don't know, pull your phone now, pause the video, put a laptop, and you look up the word Bacchanal derived from Bacchus. Bacchus is a Roman deity where they celebrated in Rome for 7 days with drunkenness and revelry. They celebrated the same thing that they say is our culture, right? But it's not. Our culture goes straight back to the Bible. Straight back to the Bible. Because something cannot be our culture, but it wasn't kept in the land that we came from. When we look at the anthropology of the people in West Africa, the people in West Africa, according to the Book of Babylon and the Timbuktu, according to Hebrews in West Africa, and many other records, these people was keeping the customs of the Bible. They kept the feast days, Passover, Pentecost, Purim, and all these feast days that God said to keep forever for the children of Israel, which is a celebration unto you and to him, to give thanks that he delivered us from the land of Egypt, that he took us out with a mighty hand. Now we have the mainstream religion telling us that done away with, when the Bible says for us to keep it forever, and now they teach us through these same religions that we can keep carnival. Right? Now hear me carefully. Look at the condition of our people and how many slain for carnival and so on. We are partaking in spiritual fornication. You got something to say about that, man? Go ahead.
No, like, is every year the numbers seem to go up with, and the incidents that occur, there's been more vicious now. It's like more spirits out these as it.
Yeah, well, true. But the thing is that our people in our land is going up. I don't know how these people do it, because they understand who we is, you know. We have something within us as a people,
Yeah.
that we just attract people from all over the earth to come to us, you know, but we thinking it's carnival. But the Bible shows us how we will be in the last days and the characteristics of our people. But we thinking it's carnival, but it's the spirit within the people, is something more tribal within our people. But what has happened is that
Sure.
the agents, I'll call it the agents have actually find a way to use that energy for us to commit spiritual fornication and only destroy ourselves more and more and more. Because before I go into because everything is in the scriptures here, brothers and sisters, right? The Holy Bible. And what I'm going to say is that when you go into the Bible, it will actually explain a lot of these things to us. But when we look at our children, just think about this, right? Have we really lost our mind? Have we really lost our mind to dress our girl children? I want to talk about the boys. Let me talk about the girls. I'm a father of 3, and I have a daughter. And we has been so immoralized, right, and desensitized that we will let our daughter go down the road with her panty and her stockings and jab and wine and dance, man. Really think about that. What you putting in that child from that age? When this child, because I'm living in a community, and I could talk about my community and what I have seen, and I have seen, you know, these same girls turn out not on the right path, and they are hyperactive young ladies. So when we introduce these things to our children, what is the benefit? A child could go in the playground and play. A child could do anything and have fun. A child could sit down with some crayons and have some fun. But this is what they want to pass down onto us as our people. Because the other people who have the power in the earth, the same agents, their children don't do that. Listen, their children sit down by the table learning about business, learning about challenges to become, they learn about entrepreneurship early. While our people, children, learning to whine. And then the young men seeing the elderly men drinking alcohol. So the mentors who are supposed to set the order, be disciplined, and raise up the young men as they should, man, you seeing your uncle and your dad drinking beers, drinking rum. Yeah. And then when the children grow up now, before 14 years, boy, when I was them age, I wasn't doing this, I wasn't doing that, because your parents wasn't doing things that you were doing. So if we just stick with the children in particularly, we will see that it is not helping our people. Now, mind you, don't think that I'm bashing the financial train, because I know it's a financial train for the people, but I have a solution, and there's other ways that we can utilize our resources and still celebrate and have fun righteously. I'll get into that after. I don't want you all to feel that I just want to, take away all the daily bread from all, because we have entertainers. You understand? They want to hear what I'm talking about. You try to take away my bread. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But we have an alternative. Don't think that I'm looking to point out these things and not bring a solution. But Ahmad, I'll let you speak if you have to speak, and I will go into the scripture.
I agree with everything you say thus far. It is before like me taking a personal walk with the Most High and trying to change my spirituality. I very much was involved in carnival and that kind of way. Not really playing mass, I never play mass, but I was a disc jockey. So every carnival, when that time come around, is the most lucrative time of the year. Exactly. But recently, like when I see the slackness now, the level of slackness, it's not just our underwear, it's see-through now. And it's girls who it is going to school still is being juve, So it real, it's serious. I understand.
Exactly. So let me go into the Bible, because what we are bringing out to the people is that we are the lost tribes of the house of Israel. Now we have to go into a lot of prophecies that is pending on our shoulders right now to bring forth on the program. But to go into prophecies, you must understand the people who the prophecies is circulating around. you must understand the people who these prophecies are circulating around. It affected the whole world now. But there are some people that have to fulfill a true purpose. So this is why we haven't go into the real end time prophecies, and we just highlighting certain things step by step. So we're going into the book of Genesis 49, reading from verse 27, because we want to highlight one of the characteristics of the Caribbean people, and we will say is the greatest show on earth. People that live from China, from Europe, from Sweden, from all over. Tourism has been on a high to come and celebrate the carnival. But is it really the carnival, or is it the spirit within the people? Is it something within the people that going out in the air and bringing in the people, but it not being used for a true purpose? Go ahead.
Sure. Reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 49, and beginning at verse 27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf in the morning. He shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the territories. Oh, yeah.
Right, you could hold there for a moment. So everything had to be taught precept on precept, but it's a radio program that's touching on a few scriptures, right? Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. A wolf does howl. It is howl. It's called the pack. It's coming. So in the Caribbean, the so-called Negroes are predominantly Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. When the Messiah went in, when he was in Judea at that time, predominantly it was Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. The other tribes were scattered abroad, but there still was some of those minorities that was there still. Now, that is why through history we can prove that the Caribbean Arawaks are also descendants from the northern tribe of the house of Israel. Now, Benjamin is known, the nation itself every tribe have a role and a position. So Benjamin was the warrior tribe. If you go into the Moors and you go into the transatlantic slave trade, you will see that the people in Jamaica in particular, their forefathers was the ones who took the ships and went back and free slaves. These people isn't a normal people. Than all the other slaves that was captured, Benjamin was very determined to fight back. So Benjamin does how they do battle. That's why we have that sort of self-crime, black and black crime, because of the social engineering upon our people and the self-hate and the division and the drugs. That warrior spirit has been utilized to destroy ourselves. So when I say it shall howl, that we shall howl, we shall sing, and everybody will come. Look at the Jamaicans.
Yeah.
They're always singing about God. Listen, they're always singing about God. It's only the other day they start, they start the dancehall thing and the little vibes cartel music. But for 30 to 40 years, they're singing about God. What they will say,
yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And if you look, now I don't know much, but I know it's very rare that we will leave to go and hear other people's music like that. I mean, yes, our people like different culture of music, but we're not going to the next corner of the earth to hear nobody music because we is the salt of the earth. Now I leave without no other race of people here because everybody had a role and position. Every ethnicity was given a blessing in the earth. But the children of Israel was to be a light unto this world. And because that we fall into disobedience, it is a sign to the other race of people, and it's also a sign unto us. Now, let me just continue with Benjamin. These is people that have a deep spirituality. Now, they legalize marijuana in Trinidad. You have a certain amount. I don't know how the measurements is. Because you see, they understand that we are waking up on them. And I said it, that the day they legalize marijuana is the downfall of our people. So now, our people think they need to smoke to get connected when we are already connected. For the scripture shows us that we are created in his image and likeness. We are already connected to the Most High God. He's already within our thoughts. We are already connected to him, but now we are disconnected when we defile our temples. With the revelry, with the excessive drinking, with the excessive smoking. Because anything to uplift us as a people, they don't finance and support. Just remember that.
No.
So anytime they are
for sure.
financing and supporting something, because they're making money off of us, and they are actually knowing that we will continue to be servants because they need servants. For them to have servants in this kingdom until the Messiah come, they need to keep us in sin that we will be their servants. And this is what people don't understand. People want to say, well, boy, why our people like this? Why our people like that? And all these things, but don't understand the spirituality of it. So that's why it's so much of things where people will speak against the scriptures and say all these things, because the whole purpose is that man should have dominion over the earth from the very beginning. And then a promise was given unto Abraham. And through Abraham loins, they shall rule. So now Abraham loins, if they are in sin, they will be captives as servants in another land. So carnival is a tool to self-destroy our people more and more and more and more. But man, I'll give you the platform.
Yeah. As it was mentioning with the music, is not just the music from Jamaica as well, even in the US where they have hip hop. That's
same thing.
The world embrace. I used to think what will be like with just country music now, and I can't. Yeah. It
would be a slow day. Yeah, it would be some slow days. It'll be some slow days.
So I on everything that you said there is absolutely correct when it comes to the dominance, because they know that if it is we really reach our fullest potential, we would need plenty of the things that they have to work on.
Yes, yeah. And you see, what has happened is that, we have been so, our people have been so destroyed for lack of knowledge of thyself, knowledge of the Most High commandments, that is a perpetuated thing. So there are so many sects of freedom. If I'm using the word freedom, we have all these different other black organizations. I'm not going to call no names, right? But we have all these other organizations, and we still are not coming from out of the condition that we are to our economical stronghold position. Then we don't have our own schools.
Sure.
We don't have our own credit unions. We don't have our own hospitals. We don't even have a place of our culture to say that is our culture. Our culture, let's stick right there in Trinidad here and maybe a little bit in West Africa. But our culture goes, if you go into the other race of people, their culture goes straight back at least 1,000 and more years. So it's like there's such things that is
And they
lacking
can
in us.
remember.
Yeah, they could trace their lineage. You know what I mean? Some of them would have their own family tree for centuries, and this is real. Now, some people may take that this is not important, it's not imperative, but what I'm saying, for the sake of our children, we have to make a change. How could we continue doing the same thing and expecting a change? Do you think that our Creator is pleased with the condition of our 6-year-old children half naked in the sun? Half naked in the sun, gyrating, thirsty. Man, I guess I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
And listen, I kind of real off the grid with these things, and I know when I observed these things back then, it was real nude. And what you are saying there is see through. And I sometimes I walking through the city and I see people wearing some kind of thing. So I could imagine what they're wearing for carnival. So we're not building as how we should build as a people. You know, and this is all about this program is also about restoring our nation, restoring our people. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, let's consider our ways. Let's really consider the things that we partake in, the things that we pass on to our children. Because I will tell you this, brothers and sisters, that I know families, many families, that the children knows nothing about these things. And the children understand that these things is not right. Because as it says, train up a child in the way they should go and they should never depart. My children know clear that carnival is a no-no. They know that straight, and listen, them ain't missing out nothing. You know why? Because the Most High God give us feast days. He gave us Passover. It's a great celebration. He gave us Pentecost. He gave us Purim. He gave us the Feast of Tabernacles. And sometimes people think that when you go into serve the Most High God, like it's a boring thing. But when you come into the understanding of truth, you just have so much of fun because God ordained days to celebrate. Let's imagine that. God, the creator of heaven and earth, give us days to celebrate in remembrance of him, that we could be in one accord with the heavens. So sometimes people thinking like, boy, I ain't ready yet because they don't want to let go things of the world and they may like to have fun and thinking that they can have fun serving Christ. But brothers and sisters, it's actually much more better than you thought. So, you know, Brother Ahmad, I'll let you say anything and I'll go into something there again.
For a fact, Brother Rocker, it is really important that what we pass down to our young children, even with being outside a carnival, the music that they have now, some of these songs and them real profane, and you see 4 or 5-year-olds singing out the, you know, like they having a wonderful time singing violent lyrics and raunchy lyrics. Little boys done it kind of had them. So it's like you had to be mindful of the children in school now. What they come in with. So it's not just a carnival thing. Is all around the wrong teachings coming down to the children and most times to see our brothers and sisters not unsuccessful and we constantly working and not owning businesses and that kind of way, you know, it really disheartening. So yes, it's really important for us to continue to especially through a platform like this, to bring the brothers and sisters to the realization.
Yeah, you're correct. I like how you touch on that because I mean, I will use this, right? Because you know some people may not understand. certain things. At least when it was carefully, right? You cannot really. How could you really love yourself if you don't love your race?
Sure.
Right? No, we will say, oh, they're talking about race, you know what I mean? No, understand. Every other and the only people that talk that is our people, eh? The only people that has talk about not to talk about race is our ethnicity of people. Every other ethnicity love their race. Listen, when you look at the Chinese people, if you have a Chinese here on the program tonight, or they could call in, they might think that time with we too. The Chinese people, right? Listen, them not buying from you unless they have to buy from you, you know? Them understand very well to circulate their finances within their race, you know? They have particular days where they meet up and they have their association.
Yeah,
the Arabians, the Europeans, even the East Indians. So they understand how to maintain their wealth and help more of their people. But because we are destroyed for lack of knowledge and lack of self, and of course, we went to slavery and all that for disobedience, we get sensitive, and religion had done this to us. You was talking about race, but God chose a race of people. God chose a race of people. Christ came from a particular race. The whole lineage of Christ, it had no Jebusites and no Hittites. It had no Jebusites and no Hittites. It was straight up Judah from King from David, and it showed the whole lineage of male. So what I'm saying is we must take real self, if I use the word pride, but love thyself to love your nation as well. You love all people. Yes, we had to love all people. We had that love for all races of people, but we cannot restore another race of people when our people down to the bottom. And I'm saying that to say is that the reason why now there are families and people of color doing well. I ain't saying no. They are good better than are doing well. But we still lack an organization. We still lack the power that we had in Timbuktu. The power that we had when we ruled in Rome, in Ireland, in Scotland, in Africa. We own things. We had resources. Right, Sam? Now we are depending on different political parties to hopefully help us. So it starts with self, brothers and sisters. Listen, we show all race of people this understanding. Anybody. But Christ says, go, I rather you go to, matter of fact, please read it, brother. Let's get to the book of Matthew 10, reading from verse 6. Because it's a radio program, it's not a Bible class, but the only way to rectify the issues in these last days, you gotta get back to the book. And there ain't no other book that no other people has condemned the most than the Holy Bible. So we'll go into the book of Matthew, chapter.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead. When you get verse 5, reading from verse 5.
All right, I'm reading from book of Matthew, chapter 10, beginning at verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Don't do what?
But go.
Don't do what?
And into any city of the go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Mm-hmm.
And into the city of the Samaritans enter ye not. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So Christ came and
as he
established
go,
that. That's now. Christ came and he established, go not to the Samaria, because the northern tribe already left in 700 BC under the reign of Solomon when the kingdom was rent. That's why we said the northern tribe of the Carib and Arawaks, they came across here 1,000 and more years before Christ came on the earth. So there were other ethnicity of people that was in the land of Samaria. You understand? Then he said, don't go to the Gentiles until you establish the people that going through the biblical curse of Deuteronomy 28. Restore the nation, restore the people, then go to the Gentiles. And then the gospel was given unto Paul to go to the Gentiles. So you cannot look to see about nobody house outside until you see about yours. And that's the problem with our people. You wanna be in everybody's business. You understand? I want to talk a lot of things, but I gotta be careful on the program. We in everybody's business, but we're not in our business. When emancipation they pop off, the emancipation they would give us. How much race of people you see wearing dashiki? How much of them you see? How much of them you see? You might see about 3 of them. But when their festivals come, we dress up in gold. We get a garment. We going by I want to call the name of the place because I am doing a promotion for them on the program. We go and buy them and we buy clothes. And we dress up. We go and buy the restaurants, line up big line. When it's them day. When it's them day. Because the tell us it's them day. We big long line. Long line. We line up 6 o'clock in the morning to go and get some greasy flour. When they come, with them. You see? So it's something that we have to understand as our people and start to stand on truth. Start for us as our people to look within ourselves and make this change. So I kind of go a little there, but I might say if anything I just say, and Sir Charles, if anybody wants to call in, they can please call. I ain't see time fly by so fast, right? But you know, I just want our people to understand. So our children, this generation, go ahead, Brother Ahmad. Go ahead. Sorry. You have anything to say, Brother Ahmad? All right. So what I'm saying?
No, I know you was finishing up, you know, bro. It's just a sad state as you know. Yeah, I just saying. I just reiterating with what you're saying. It's just a sad state that our nation has come, and for some reason, long time. That is before I move out from where I'm from. I always felt a kind of inclination to have little sports day because I used to be like, but boy, it don't really have nothing for them, for the younger generation and that kind of way. So it was always something that and you used to literally have to beg the counselor to get a couple chairs and a tent and that kind of way to have a little sports and family day for the community, you know. But when it's time for elections, trust me, you're seeing them in the numbers. They're coming and they're kissing the baby. But when it is so it's like we're not dependent on them and we're not supposed to be dependent on the government. However, it is we ourselves, you know what I mean? Our mindset is always, you know, the government owes something and Because as brothers and sisters, we just need to get together and start from now to appreciate each other.
And you bring some good points to me.
Then we could go forward with business and anything else. When we learn to respect and appreciate each other, that's when we...
And you bring a good point to me, if I may say, right? That again,
Pardon?
you have to. I said it. You bring some good points because you have to. When it is, you see, what has happened to with mankind, that we have become so preoccupied for the daily bread. We given our time for money, and we are so tired and worn out. And when you really think about it, for those that could think about it, right? And what you highlight there, you have to sometimes go to the counselor and ask for help and stuff, just to keep a little sports in the community for the young men, a little football, a little program. And if I go back to this again, you don't see other race of people having to do these things. Now, mind you, there are other race of people that go into the same thing that we're going through. I'm not excluding that. But when we look at the majority of them, they don't be out there like that.
No, among themselves.
They don't be out there like that. They organize.
Yeah.
They organize. That's what I get to that. But we know how to go and line up, send a letter, beg. Because you see, we have a sort of and that's the thing too. A lot of handouts. You see handouts in this land. Some people may not like this, but the handouts is also a stumbling block to our people, because now it has created a comfort zone for us to remain. Yeah, and now we're dependent and we complaining. We want this, we want that. We could come together in the space of 6 months and organize something for our community and see about certain things. All we need to do is get the land. But again, we are divided. You know why we are divided? As we read a few weeks ago, that we are under the wood and stone. We are under these different religions. We are following different customs. How can we agree as one? We're saying that we love and we have to love one another, but at the same time, we don't know really how to treat one another. So that's why whenever we try to organize something, most of these organizations, they collapsed. Now, there was a promise given unto us, and that promise is that we must keep the covenant of God. You see, the thing about us and why I'm speaking here tonight, to make people understand, is that we have a covenant with our God, which is an agreement that we keep his commandments and we will have all things. But if we don't keep this commandment, his commandments, we will be in the condition that we are in today. So that's why I have to highlight these things, because the other race of people don't have that covenant.
Yeah.
They don't have that arrangement. So people will say, you're speaking this and speaking that about race and this and that. But the fact is that there are certain things that they could get away with, and there are things that we cannot get away with. And listen, it's very clear. It's very evident. Nobody can refute what I'm saying here tonight. So what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, it's time for us to... Listen, give me 1 second, family. Yes, sorry about that. So it's time for us to actually really embrace ourselves, love ourselves, look at our children, and time for us to try to make a change in our communities, brothers and sisters. This, as I said, for those that having fun and doing all kind of thing, still sin. But for those that have children and really want the best for their children, matter of fact, I know someone right now Matter of fact, if I may say, I know someone right now whose son went in jail today. And this person, son went in jail today, you know why? He done drink rum down the road. He gets so drunk. There are certain things that happened, and they lay some hands on him. And I ain't talking more people in the streets lay hands on him, eh? So he gone down. If he stay at home, he'd never be in jail right now. So he went down the road for Carnival Tuesday. So some people will say, well, boy, you know, you don't know the handle, let's have this and that. But when we look at it, it still affects people. You know, at the end of the day, it still affects the people. So, you know, brothers and sisters, I want to read another scripture before we go. You know, I want to go into the book of St. John, reading from chapter, St. John 8. St. John 8, reading from St. John 7, St. John 8, correct, reading from verse 31. And I want to speak for those that believe in God or considering to give their life over or who want more to their life. I want to read these few verses with you all before we go.
Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Reading from the book of St. John, chapter 8, beginning at verse 31. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Hold that right there.
They answered him,
You can hold that
we
right
be
there.
Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man.
You can hold that right
How
there.
sayest thou, ye?
You can hold that right there. Right. You have a little delay with each other. So it says that ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. This is not about
hold it
nothing
right.
Yeah. This is nothing
Yeah, sorry,
about This is not, it's not the time to get emotional. It's not the time now for us to, you know, look at he and my same color, he look young. Who is he to tell me what is right from wrong? It's not about that. It's about listening to the words that were spoken and really considering and seeing the direction that our nation and people is going into. This world has taught us to be selfish, which is idolatry. This world taught us it's all about ourselves. And when we look at it, we do all these things ourselves, and our grandchildren can even benefit. Our grandchildren might get to live in the house or something, we pass down a few things down the pipeline. But we ain't carrying down no generational wealth as how we should. We're not setting up proper organizations for ourselves as a people. We have such culture, we have such greatness, we have such power in the earth that people will come from the other end of the earth, from Australia to New Zealand, to come Trinidad, to come and wine and jab and drink rum and get on foolish. Such power that we have. But we need to use this power for the betterment of ourselves and to change this world. Because the reason why our Messiah hasn't come as yet, until 144,000 men have been sealed with the Holy Spirit, according to the book of Revelation 7, that there are 4 angels to the 4 corners of the earth waiting to destroy this place. But until the servants have been sealed and the other people has been sealed, brothers and sisters, let's use our greatness for ourselves, not to put money in everybody's pocket. Not to, because a lot of these people them who behind these organizations is not even we. Everybody looking for their own piece of the pie and go with it.
The majority.
Yes, and what I am talking about is making a way for everybody. But it starts inward first. Because we shall love thy neighbor as love thyself. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. This is what we will stand by as a people to go forward. We will not stand with grudges. We will not stand with backbiting. We will not stand with the same thing that we're doing for the last 1,000 and something years. You build a house, you get a car, you think you get through in life. That is not it. It's more to it. Right? So, but Ahmad, people, I pray that, we doing this program. I really thankful to the Most High God for Sir Charles and his team that has given us the opportunity to have free speech here. You know what I mean? I'm really thankful. I will say, Most High willing, from next week, we will go into more. Events in the earth that is happening that really can affect us as a people. But for basics, we have to touch on the cultural aspect of things as we now coming off of that. So, but Ahmad, I don't know if you have anything to say before we go, because we have 2 more minutes.
I don't really have much more to say concerning this, but as brother, I believe that the word will go out and it will touch, and I pray to the Most High that that it touch brothers and sisters, so that we more people's eyes begin to open up to see the truth, to understand our purpose, because we look real royal when we in our kingship, when we embrace the kingship. Mm-hmm. I like to see black businessmen doing very well as well. It's not even about on the spiritual side. We see that's the physical side of things. When we do well, it does look very nice.
Yes.
And people tend to respect us. So when we down and we dumb down and drunk and all them filthy things that we had been doing recently, previously, there's watch us to scorn and things. But as soon as we realize that we have a positive mindset and you're driven and that kind of way, ambitious, I have seen respect from other nations when I doing, So I guess it's up to us to understand our purpose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well said, brother.
And we do thank
Sir Charles.
We do I do thank Sir Charles and the NETT Radio for having this platform, because this is really gonna do wonders.
Okay, thank you. Sir Charles, I give it all over to you, sir.
No problem. Thank you very much, guys, for the program today. And of course, next Monday, we jump right back inside on End Times on New Era TT Radio. People, stay with us. We will be back shortly.
Okay, great. Take care. End Times is here. Are you prepared? Check us on New Era TT Radio or NETT Radio with Brother Raka and Brother Yatazakawa on Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. End Times is here. Stay tuned.